Year 7 and welcome to our second lesson on the topic of skills. Today we are going to talk about bar charts, and our learning journey starts with understanding the key features of a bar chart. So we're going to look at how actually a bar graph looks like and what it consists of. Then we are going to construct a bar chart from scratch, and then we are going to describe the trend shown within a bar chart. For today, equipment, you're going to need pen, pencil, graph paper, a ruler, word wall, and YouTube. So understanding the key features of a bar chart. A bar chart or a bar graph shows information or data, the way we call it in geography, by using rectangular bars of different heights, just like in this graph that we've got here. Now, I will need you to pay careful attention to what I'm going to say because you will have to test your knowledge on this at the end. So a bar chart has different components, so elements, and we are now going to look at all of them so it makes it easier for you to understand how it works. For example, a bar graph always has a title, so we know what we're measuring, what we're talking about. For example, here, this graph is talking about population in 2007 for all these countries here, Belgium, Germany, Spain, and Ireland. But it also has an x-axis on the horizontal line and the y-axis on the vertical line. The x-axis shows groups or categories, so what we're talking about, what are we measuring this for? So the countries, for example, Belgium, Germany, Spain, and Ireland. And the y-axis always has numbers, so it shows us the values. Now, of course, we've got the bars as well. So the blue bars, they don't have to always be blue, but the bars, they are showing the value of each category based on how high they are. For example, if we know that Belgium had a population of 10 million, so if you're looking at the if we are looking at the table here above, we've got the values for each one of the countries. So we've got these in millions. For example, for Belgium, we've got 10 million people living there. That's what our table shows. So what we are going to do now, we are going to draw the bar, raising it up to where we think 10 is in between 0 and 20. So that is our value. For Germany as well, we know that the population is 82 million people, so we're going to raise our bar to where we approximate where we think 82 is. Now this is how you draw a bar graph. Always make sure that between the bars you leave some space. Okay, so now we are going to learn how to construct a bar chart from scratch, and we are going to do this together. You will need graph paper and a ruler for this activity. We are going to start by drawing the x-axis, the horizontal line at 20 centimeters. Then we are going to point some lines every 3 centimeters on the x-axis, just like this, to make some space for where we are going to put the bars. Now, if we look above, we have the table with the data, the values we need to put in our graph. Our categories, if we're looking there, are again countries. So below every space we made on the x-axis, we are going to write the name of the countries, and we are going to start with Italy and Afghanistan. Then we are going to draw the y-axis. And we are going to put the numbers from 10 to 100 because if we look at the table with the values, we have numbers up to 100. When you draw this, make sure you leave 1 centimeter spaces between the numbers, just like this. Our next step is creating the bars. Our values in the table above show the literacy rate for Italy is 98%. So we will have to raise our bar to make it high enough to reach where we think 98 will be on the bar. So just like here, just like this bar, somewhere close to 100. Then we know Afghanistan has a literacy rate of 40%. So we will make our bar high enough to reach where 40 is. Just like this. But make sure you leave equal spaces between the bars. They need to be separated. Now that you have done the graph and you understand the element of this graph, on your paper, for the developing task, you will have to add the other two pieces of data from the table. So you'll have to make two other bars for the countries of Chad and Malawi using the values from the table above. So we've got for Chad 20% literacy rate, and for Malawi we've got 60%. So you'll have to draw the bars for them. And for the secure task, if you want to challenge yourself, complete the labels for each element of the graph. So what are the elements? What are those axes? What is the title? This is a very important task of this lesson, so make sure you take a picture of your completed graph at the end and upload it to ClassCharts for your teacher to see. So now we are at the end of our learning journey, and we are going to describe the trend shown within a bar chart. When we are describing the trend means what happens over time, what happened over the years with what we are measuring. For example, in this graph, we are measuring literacy rate, so global literacy rate percentage. Literacy rate means how many know how to read and write. So for this graph, we are basically looking at how many how many people knew to read and write um, from the 1980s to 2010. Now, if we're looking at this graph, what do we think? Do we think the number of people that know how to read and write went up, so it increased, or it went down, it decreased? What do we think by looking at the bars? Are the bars going up or are they going down? Well, you will have to answer to these questions on a game, in a game on WordWall. So a link to this will be on ClassCharts. Make sure at the end you take a picture or a screenshot of the result and upload it to ClassCharts. Okay, so we are now at the end of our lesson on bar charts. You must upload a picture of your graph completed and a picture of or a screenshot of the WordWall game result on ClassCharts. Thank you for taking part in this lesson and have a great day. Bye.